I chose to do reporting suspected child abuse and neglect for my presentation today. Um, Most of this information I was able to get off the line through the Kansas Reporting Suspected Child Abuse and Neglect through a website there to get all the information that was needed for this. A big question is should I report? In all states, teachers are required to report when they suspect a case of child abuse and neglect by a parent or a guardian. 49 states have reporting requirements for teachers, and they will not be held liable. Immunity is granted to any teacher who reports when reports are made in good faith. And in the state of Kansas, we are one of those 49 reporting requirements. What happens if I do not report? Laws in most states penalize individuals who fail to report child abuse and neglect. Failure to report could result in jail time, loss of teacher license, and or a fine. It is a Class B misdemeanor. Failure of a mandated reporter to make a report is a crime, which could result in a $1,000 fine up to 6 months in jail. So it is very important that teachers do report, even if they're not for sure. If you think or have possible evidence, do not wait a day or two. Go immediately and you be the reporter, either to your social worker counselor or, what they're saying now is if you suspect it, you report it to the law. And that is what their DCF is stating now. Report it to a law enforcement. What to look for. The first step in helping a child abuse is learning to recognize symptoms of child abuse. As you know, there are several symptoms of child abuse, and if you're dealing from sexual, physical, or emotional abuse, the best way, honestly, is to look up that information for yourself, and then to also get that information in training through your school if they are able to provide that. What is child abuse? Child abuse is a physical injury, physical neglect, emotional injury, or sexual act inflicted upon a child. Several indicators, including a child's behavior, may indicate the occurrence of child abuse. Behavior indicators, as defined in the selection following, have a valid place in decision making. They provide important clues for potential reporters to pursue. However, the presence of a single behavior indicator does not necessarily prove that a child is abused or neglect is occurring. It's better to report it and then rather than play the what if or keep questioning yourself. If you do believe that he is or she is, report it. There's nothing more, I think, that would be awful than if you're thinking about it and then it actually comes into that child is being abused. Reasons to suspect. Reason to suspect means anytime anyone believes or has a hint of a clue of a child or has been a victim of abuse or neglect. A reporter may have reason to suspect when there is consistency in history in explaining a child's injury. An example of this history would be a situation in which a parent or caregiver of a child describes the injury as an accident, but bruises are on multiple areas of the body. But bruises on multiple areas of the body are in various stages of healing, indicating they were imposed at different times and are a result of more than one incident of a single accidental injury. Consider whether the description of how the injury occurred seems likely. If the injury is accidental, there should be reasonable explanation of how it happened, which is consistent with the severity, type of the location of the injury. When the description of how the injury occurred and the appearance of injury do not seem to relate, there is cause of concern, a reason to suspect. If you believe it, then act on it. I mean, that's my big thing is if you're thinking, then more things are rolling into your head. I mean, I'm just like, don't wait, because you never know. Never, like I said, you just never know. What should you report? What should your report contain? Both mandated reporters and concerned citizens should attempt to include the following information: child's name and address, the child's parent, other individuals that are involved, the child's location, child's condition, including the nature and the extent of the child's injury, whether alleged perpetrator has access to the child, or any other information that the reporter believes might be helpful in showing the cause of the injury. My big thing with previous reports that I have done is just be open and honest. You can never not give them enough information. The more they know, the better off they will be, and to decide if it's a red flag, go after it, or a white flag, nothing we can do, or whatnot. Who to contact? I've listed here a 1-800 number, 1-800-922-5330. So that's the Kansas Protection Report Center. And also calling the police department and letting them know if this is what's happening. They are available any time of the day. I've reported during the day. I've reported at home. I've reported after school, so they are available at any time. My big thing is don't wait. I copied a link here about a Wichita teacher who waited 2 weeks, and in that process, the state took her license away because it was 2 weeks too late. Now, there's a lot of things going back and forth on this certain issue. Was the penalty too severe for her? A lady who's been teaching 17 years and a child that was sexually abused, that she said she waited 2 weeks too long. And honestly, 2 weeks is probably too long. If you think it, you should be reporting it. It's all around you. I truly believe in this. In my 12 years of being a teacher, I have reported a total of 4 possible child abuse and neglect. Of 3 of the 4 cases, the child has been removed from the home. They've removed a kid, one of my students. He was constantly absent. I'm turning it in, asking my admin, what are we doing? What are we doing? Oh, he calls in every morning. They have their reasons. There's nothing we can do. Well, it was getting worse and worse. And finally, I just took the initiative and I called SRS at the time and brought up everything. This is what was happening. This is supposedly who he's living with. His dad is in another state. He's missed this many days. He's only been to school on this many times. He's falling behind. They got on it right away, called Dad. Dad came and got him. Poof, he was out of the home. There was major issues at home, in the home, of things that was going on. And it all came on. My only thing I had was not attending school. Another one is a solid bruise on a kid's arm. Kind of questioned it, kind of got mixed emotions from the kid. And then each day I would like kind of put my hand on his shoulder, kind of give him like a back rub, like good job kind of thing. And he would start to flinch away. And one time he said, "Ow, that hurt." And I said, "Can you show me what I did? I'm sorry that I was just telling you good job," but I questioned it. And then once I had the results, took him immediately to our council that we called SRS, and then he was removed. The last reporting I did was actually I reported on the teacher, and that was probably my hardest thing I've ever had to do, because I did not have 100% facts. I had several puzzle pieces, but when you put them together, you knew something was going on, and it was a teacher that was having inappropriate relationships with a student, and lots of tears, lots of emotions at that time, because you are putting an accusation upon someone that you don't know for sure. And when it came out, it was, and the teacher lost her job. But I was working with KNEA. I had to talk with attorneys, talk with the police. I mean, it was a huge drawn out situation for our school, and very changing thing for myself as a mother, as a teacher, as a parent. So, like I said, I'm glad that last year is over with. It's, we can move on from that. But my big thing is, if you think it's happening, you need to report, from the biggest thing to the smallest thing, because our number one priority is the safety of our kids. And it doesn't matter how old they are, from birth to high schoolers or even more. So if you think it's happening, you should report.